Oh, this what they've been waiting on? Ha ha ha! It's the Gringo and Tom Show! Let's go! It's the Gringo and Tom Show, y'all ready to go? Late night sports talk, y'all ready to go? Gringo be hitting his points. Tom coming in and he won't disappoint. Nah. He'll be swinging for the fences and striking you out. Now let's see what this is all about. It's the Gringo and Tom Show, y'all ready to go? It's the Gringo and Tom Show, y'all ready to go? Ready to go, river ready to go. It's the Gringo and Tom Show, y'all ready to go? Hey, it's starting right about now.
All right, we are in a new episode of the Gringo and Tom Show. As always, Emilio over here with a Bronx Bombers shirt today.
Hey,
That's
looking
how we
fire.
do it. That's how we do it.
Hey,
Bronx Bombers
I'm
hitting
liking
dingers
it.
on the daily
I'm liking
with
it.
my boy over here.
It's Tom. What's up? What's up? I got a Yankee shirt as well. Not as cool as that one though, but got my Jeter, my throwback. Still
Peter
respectable. It's
El
all right.
Capitan.
Heck yeah. Never can go wrong with Jeter.
100%.
Never.
That's right. Okay, so let's start off with this week's highlights. Let's first start off with the Orioles series. The Yankees yesterday finished their 4-game set against the Orioles. They took the split. They won they lost the first game, won the
Yeah.
middle two, and
Mm-hmm.
then lost the final game of the series.
Yep.
Tom, what was your report card in terms of that series? What do you give it in terms of like from A to F?
Ooh, I gotta give it like a C minus.
C
And
minus.
it's so disappointing because if literally Gleyber Torres' ground rule double wasn't a ground rule double in the last game, then it might have been a B minus. But nope, they lost, so C minus. Even if they won that last game, I still didn't love that series for the Yankees. You know, they hit better, but still kind of shaky. Still a little trash in some areas. The base running still has got to be better. I mean, my boy Clint, dude. I love Clint Frazier to death, but what the heck was he doing?
He was smiling afterwards too,
Oh man,
which made it
he
worse.
saw Boone with the death stare, man. Boone was like, "Boy, you messed up. You done."
There's a reason that Frazier immediately went to the other side of the clubhouse.
Nah, he was embarrassed. He knew it right away. That's like a little. David Cohn said it himself. It's a little league mistake. It's just unacceptable,
Ugh.
man. Yankees got to get better. They made 13 outs on the bases. That's the most in baseball by 3. So they got to tighten that up. Got to tighten that up. But on the positive side, pitching has been pretty great.
Yes.
Let me think. So we had Jordan
Herman?
Montgomery, not too bad. Yeah, Domingo Herman, he was pretty great. Stifled the Orioles. Corey Kluber had a good outing. So good pitching. Can't really say too much badly about that. It's just the hitting. It's come and gone. We need our boys to step up, man. We need more of those massive dingers. Clint Frazier's heating up a little bit, hopefully. Gary Sanchez lost the starting job. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but my word, man. There's just so much going wrong with this offense right now.
There's so much right now, and it just baffles me that the fact that like players such as Aaron Hicks are being given so many opportunities, and I understand why given the contract. But also you also talked about Clint Frazier as well. Um,
Yeah, dude.
he hasn't been that good this year. He has not been that good this year. He's had about 19 games this year. So he's had a good amount of at bats and he just hasn't shown up. He has not shown up.
Nah, dude.
And that's why the Yankees go with Gardner. That's why they put him here and there. And that might be an issue in terms of like the growth of Clint Frazier, which has been an issue these last couple of years, given that, back and forth with Gardner. But either way, you got to let Frazier grow. You got to let him go through the struggles
Free
and
Clint.
see what happens.
I 100% agree. I think the only way Clint Frazier is going to settle into a big league role is by playing consistently. Now, the good news is that he has been given more playing time lately, and he has played better. And he's got 2 home runs in his last 3 games now, so we'll see where this takes him. As for Aaron Hicks, I don't know, man. He's not. Even the good things about Hicks, they're just not there anymore. Like this, my man, I always praised his ability to walk. He hasn't even done that well this year. He's been swinging at a lot of junk, and he's kind of looked a little pole happy, which is not what you want to see. It's not what you want to see.
I talked about this. I talked about this towards the beginning of the first couple of episodes. I was skeptical of the fact as, why did the Yankees sign him to 7 years and $70 million? It was on the cheap, but in my mind, I was like, you've seen his track record. You've seen, you've had a good amount of
Right. Mm-hmm.
of at bats, of seasons. And you made a great point towards the beginning of this not this podcast, but past podcast, of the fact that he does get his walks,
Yeah,
and he's not showing
does the
that.
little
He's not
things.
showing that right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Even his
So
defense needs to tighten up. He's made some bad errors there. He needs to just tighten up his game a little bit. I feel like he'll be okay, but he's got to tighten up his game, stay a little healthier. He's been doing that so far this year, but dude, I'm a little worried about Aaron Hicks. He's looking a little broken.
yeah,
A little broken.
yeah,
But the Yankees can weather it.
yeah,
I guess
yeah.
they can weather it. I mean, Clint Frazier's got to start playing better. He is. We'll see how that goes and how Aaron Judge does in terms of staying healthy. Because
That's right.
getting days off twice a week now. Don't really know what's up with
Not
that,
good.
but
Which
we'll
brings
get
us,
to that.
fitting enough, to the future of the New York Yankees. There's
Mhm.
been a lot of Yankees fans who have been disappointed and just angry at the fact that things have not gone the way that it should during this last month, the beginning of the season.
It's been a
But
rough
in
month.
terms of the future, let's start off with Judge. Let's start off with the fact that in terms of him getting rest, he's getting a little bit more than usual.
It's tough. It's tough to gauge what's going on because the Yankees have kind of mishandled injuries the past couple of years. Like when Judge broke his wrist in 2018, they said he'd only be out for like 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, at the most 3 to 4 weeks, but 2 weeks. And then he was out for 6 weeks. So, and then last year with the whole issue where he had the lower leg soreness, they're like, he'll be out for a week. Then he went to the IL. Then he came back, re-injured the calf. You just wonder what's going to happen. The Athletic made an article about this. So how can we trust the Yankees' load management? Do we think it's load management, or are they just hiding something? And it's fair to question that. I really don't know. But as long as Aaron Judge is playing, I think he's going to be great, and he has been great. He hasn't been the problem for the Yankees. His defense has slipped a little bit this year. It's a small sample, but you wonder if the Yankees are telling him to like chill out because of all the injuries, man. We see this guy playing 110%. He literally looks like a massive sized giraffe, like a giraffe on roids out there in right field, just making these athletic plays. But dude, you don't know if he can hold up for 162 games year in and year out. That's the thing.
Exactly, 100%. Which brings to the idea, his contract is up in what is it? Next year, right? At
Coming
the end
up,
of
yeah.
next year, 2022. You got to think about it like this. Are the Yankees willing to give him a big contract given his injury-prone past? And I believe that it's going to be a tough decision for the New York Yankees to make.
It's dicey.
Yeah.
It's definitely dicey. I think right now it's like 50-50. It depends on how he does this year. This year's a big year for Judge. If he can stay healthy and hit like 40-something home runs, show that he's the player he was his rookie year, then yeah, I mean, I would justify giving him the money, but he has another IL stint or two, and he's looking like he can't stay healthy. I don't know what to do. He's kind of looking like George Springer right now, the guy who sometimes gets hurt, but is awesome when he plays. Don't know if I want to give a lot of money to that guy.
No. I don't. But we'll see what happens this year, and hopefully he's able to get healthy and bring this team to where they want to go.
Absolutely, man.
Yes, yes.
All the best for Judge. I want to see Judge hitting those home runs,
100%.
just like today. Just hit a home run to dead center. He's looking like a beast, but I want him in the games.
Gotta see that.
I
Gotta
don't
keep
want
on
him riding
seeing
the
that.
bench, bro. No bench stuff. It just doesn't. You know what doesn't make sense? Why'd they take him out in the ninth inning? They took him out in the ninth inning literally because of load management. Why would you like save him for 4 minutes of game time? 4 minutes. I don't get
Even
that.
that, like, you put him in that game. The situation is you're going to extra innings. You're going to need him in extra innings because of the
Oh, we're
fact
talking
that,
about the next game. Yeah. They pinch hit him and then they just burn him. Like I didn't understand why they didn't keep him in the game for that.
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. In terms of that, like, if you're going to utilize him in that manner, you have to be smart about it. You have to be smart
Yeah,
about the situation and
you
what's
gotta be
going
smart.
on during the game. But they
Sometimes
did
Aaron
not
Boone
do
makes
that.
head scratchers.
Another head scratcher that I would like to talk about is the debate of whether Higgy should get the starting spot
Oh my
um,
God.
on top of Gary Sanchez, which that's a whole nother conversation that began at the end of last season when ultimately they went with Higgy during most of the race series in the ALDS.
You know what? I love Higgy. I think he's gotten much better as a hitter. But dude, like it's just like when Austin Romine was being he was hitting well in 2018 and everyone's like, why doesn't he start over Sanchez? It's the same thing. Romine can hit well as a backup, but you put him in a starting role, he gets overwhelmed. And it's a lot of responsibility for a catcher, bro. Like they don't have to just hit. They also have to learn how to catch the pitching staff and learn and just like work with these guys. It's not easy stuff, and you're asking a lot out of a guy who's never done this before. I don't agree with having him be the starter out of nowhere. I'm sure he's thrilled about it. He's willing to put the work in, but bro, it's a lot of weight on his shoulders. They probably should right now just split it 50-50. And I think that's what they're trying to do.
Here's something to note about that, though, is the fact that with Higgy in his career, like he's always been thought of as the backup.
Right.
So he's had the rest. He's had the rest. This is why I'm assuming that he's been getting those solo shots, those 2-run shots,
He's well
because
rested.
he has fresh legs compared to Gary, who has always been consistently right there playing mostly every single game. So of course Higgy's going to have a little bit more success compared to Gary because of the fact that he's not on the field as much as Gary.
That's a good point. I didn't really think about that, but it makes sense because that's a position that will really beat you up. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have to squat behind a plate like for an entire game. That will beat you up. So that's a good point. I really think that's part of it too. That Higashioka just fresher and he doesn't have to catch as much. So yeah, that could also be it. We'll see how this
Yeah.
goes. I think the
Yeah.
Yankees are just going with the hot hand. They really just want to see what Higashioka can do. He's having a good
Don't
game right
blame him.
now. He's
Don't blame
walked a
him.
couple times.
Yeah.
So I hope he hits well. I'm not trying to hate on him, but dude, he needs to hit this well in order to make it seem right that they bench Sanchez for him. Like Sanchez, I think has all the talent in the world. He's struggling again, just swinging at pitches in the strike zone, dude. It's frustrating when you see him swinging and missing at hittable fastballs, but I think he'll get it back. He's too talented. He's way too talented.
I feel like this is all mental. I feel
It's
like
mental.
ever since they had the situation with him learning how to play like put that knee
Just the
down,
one knee,
ever since
yeah.
that happened, it really messed up his psyche, and he's just trying to get back to some level of normalcy for him. And people are rushing him, people are telling him things left and right. I think he should just follow himself. And he's a humble guy, which is cool, but I think instead of like agreeing like, yeah, I don't mind being like the position that I am now, I think he has to be more of the assertive type where say, yeah, I am struggling. I'm
speak
not
up.
doing what I'm supposed to be doing. He works really hard, but let me just focus on what I think is going to make me better compared to what the organization thinks is going to make me better.
Exactly, man. Yeah, he needs to really just assert himself. And I don't know. I feel like there's truth to that because he was saying it. They interviewed him and he said, I just don't feel that comfortable with this catching guy. What's his name? The guy they brought in from the Twins who helped him with the one knee thing. He didn't feel comfortable with it, and only till this season he started to grow a relationship with him. So maybe that was part of it. That he's like, I want to help the team win. I'll do anything it takes. And you love that mentality, but you're at the same time just thinking, man, he just needs to do his own thing. He needs to get back to what made him good back in like 2017 and 16.
Yep,
Man,
that's right. That's right. We make some
I think he'll
interesting
get back
points
there.
about this, and hopefully the future of the Yankees is looking bright. But right now, it's up in the air. So we'll see if these questions get answered soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah. All right. So our next point is Vladdy Jr., aka Tom's pick for this season.
My
Three
breakout pick,
homer
man.
game. Three homer
Yeah.
game against the Nationals on Tuesday
Vladito.
night. Talk about it, Tom, when you heard about this.
Dude, I was hyped. Fireworks. Out of anybody who would be doing well in the AL East that's not a Yankee, Vlad Jr., he was my man. Can't not root for this guy. And
Mm-hmm.
he put on a fireworks show against the Nationals, single-handedly carrying the Blue Jays to victory. And none of those home runs were cheapies. There were no doubters.
The first one was literally, I thought that was a fireworks show right there. Like literally, that was the farthest home run I've seen hit this season in terms of like the exit velo.
Oh, dude, he just literally destroyed those baseballs. He hit every single stitch out of them. He's just a literal beast, and he's got so much swag to him right now. Every time he walks up to the plate, you can just tell he's got a confidence that nobody can shake. And it's so fun to watch because I just love it when a youngster he struggles a little bit coming up, but then he gets that confidence, that swagger, and you're just like, he's got it now. Like Fernando Tatis Jr. when he
Yeah.
got that.
Yeah.
Got
One
that
thing to
swagger.
note that I just thought of right now is the fact that the first couple of seasons, I think in his mind, he's like, I'm in the big leagues right now. He was still in his dad's shadows.
Yeah.
Now he feels like this is my third time in the show, my third year. I've been here for a couple of years. Now I genuinely feel like I'm a real big league player and I'm like, you got everyone supporting me. I am now Vladdy Jr. I'm the Vladdy Jr. that everyone expected me to be in the
Found his
first
identity,
season.
man. Yeah, he's not pressing anymore. He's trying to make a name for himself, and I love it, man. I hope he continues to tear it up. He looks like a completely different ball player. Well, you know what? He doesn't. He looks like the guy he was back in AAA. The guy
Yes,
we knew he was going to turn out to be. So
that's
good
right.
for Vladito. I hope he gets some MVP consideration and just keeps
Ooh,
tearing the cover
that'd be
off the
great.
ball. And he's looked
That'd be
decent at
great.
first base. He hasn't been a bad defender either. Like that's another thing people thought he was going to struggle at, but he's looked fine there.
He's in
He's
his
coming into
zone.
his own,
That's
man.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Speaking
man.
of someone being in their zone, the Royals are 15-8. Just
Yeah.
amazing.
They're
Coming out of
locked in.
nowhere.
Locked in, bro.
Coming in out of nowhere. Some highlights include Salvador Perez. Obviously, he's one of the big leaders for that team. He's been
Salvi.
great. He's been putting up the numbers. And obviously, Carlos Santana, who came in during the off season, that he's been a very, very integral part to their success.
Yeah, he's been awesome, dude. I feel like he has a ripple effect on the lineup because he's such a smart hitter that he's helping everybody else because he just has like such a knowledge of the strike zone. He's like, dude, just walk like me. Just don't swing at those bad pitches. Like, you know who he's gonna help? Jorge Soler, who is an absolute
Mm,
beast who still has not gotten going yet. Once he gets going, I feel like Carlos Santana is going to keep helping him. He's going to be like, dude, just don't swing at those pitches that you can't hit. You've got massive power. Just tap into that. And hopefully he can help these guys reach their further potential because they got a lot of talent. I've always
Yeah.
thought that this team had a bright future, but they're coming sooner than expected. And it's kind of fun to watch. I don't think they're a great team. I think they're going to slip out of it a little bit, but they look fun right now. Fun as heck, man.
Yes, yes. And especially the fact that their pitching is doing what it's supposed to be doing. And you know, obviously has to keep up in 162 games, but for this first month, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, man. Danny Duffy leading the charge. He's got a minuscule ERA. Minuscule.
.56 ERA, 3 wins
Whew.
and 1 loss. That's
It's nasty,
DeGrom
bro.
territory.
Nasty, bro. I mean, obviously, you're not going to confuse his dominance with DeGrom's, but he's been
Well,
more than
yeah,
capable.
it's just
He's been great.
just seeing him how he's been so far. It's good to see, and obviously with the likes of
Dominance.
DeGrom, that's more of a down the road type of situation if he continues his success.
Oh yeah, man. Wouldn't want to be DeGrom right now, but we won't bag on the Mets too much. We already did that on Monday.
Oh,
But let's just put it in short. The Mets did not win a DeGrom start again. And this time they did it in dramatic
oh my
fashion, losing
God.
1-0. That is all I'm going to say. We have bashed on the Mets a little too much lately. That's all I'm going to say,
Yeah,
though. Poor
gotta
DeGrom.
give our little brothers a little bit of a break.
They're playing okay. They're not playing horribly.
Nine
I'll
and
catch them a
10.
break.
Okay, you know, I mean, we can't say anything,
I know
but
the
still,
Yankees have gotten off to a worse start, of course, but
yeah,
I feel like the Mets always have found a way to lose in more embarrassing ways,
yeah.
unfortunately. But they'll get it
They
back.
always get hyped up. That's the thing.
That's true. They always get
They
the
always
hype.
get hyped up when some momentum is occurring for them.
Right. Like they got Lindor, sweet, but now they got to win,
Yeah,
and we're waiting. They got the talent, they got the tools to do it, but you gotta win, bro. Gotta
they
win.
gotta wait. Noah's coming in June, July, so hopefully
Yeah,
he
they got
brings a little
some
bit more stability to the rotation, and Carrasco
reinforcements.
as well. So they're
Carrasco, yep.
missing a good chunk of their pitching rotation, and the likes of Stroman, DeGrom, Noah Syndergaard, and Carlos Carrasco. I'm saying if they were to like make it to like a playing game or something like that in the
Oh, they'd be
wild card
set.
series,
They'd be set,
and they
bro.
make it to the DS, they're set up.
They're
They're set
dangerous.
up.
Just like in 2015, they're dangerous. Don't
Hmm.
sleep on Dejan Walker either, man. Taiwan. It's Taiwan
Yeah.
Walker. He's a beast.
Yes.
He's looked really good this year.
That's right. That's right.
Hmm.
Well, let's continue with our all MLB team.
Yeah, let's do this, man.
Today we're going to talk about the third baseman, the hot corner. I'll start with you, Tom. Who is your favorite or number one third baseman today?
Dude, it feels like a cop-out, but I'm doing it. I'm going with another Dodger. I'm going with JT, Justin Turner. Dodgers, it didn't even look like he was going to be a Dodger for a while. I mean, I
Oh yeah,
I
it was up in
personally
the
had no
air.
doubt. Yeah, I didn't really have a doubt he was coming back, but he came back late, and Dodgers definitely haven't regretted that decision. He's been the best hitter on their team. He has absolutely raked and is the reason why the Dodgers are playing as well as they are.
That's right.
He's been a beast, man.
That's a really great option. That's great. 6 home runs, 20 RBIs, 31 hits in 91 at bats.
Heck yeah.
I'm going for that
He's
every
found the
single
fountain of
time.
youth. His defense
Yeah,
has been better too, which is shocking because he's getting older, but he's finding fountain of youth, man. He looks
yeah,
young.
right.
Keep it up, JT.
I'm going with Chris Bryant and
Ooh, good one.
7
Good
home
one.
runs, 18 RBIs, 27 hits and 86 at bats. He's putting it up, and after last year when he said that he wasn't having fun with baseball, I think it more had to do with the fact that like he just wasn't feeling himself. He wasn't that mojo wasn't going in.
That makes sense. That makes
Everything was
sense.
up in the air as well with the trade rumors and everything with him. So
Hmm.
I would understand why he felt that way.
Yeah, it's not easy to be a top performer when you're not playing as well as you think you could, and then you're constantly being told you might be traded, and it's tough to play around all that stuff, man. Gets
The
into your
idea
head.
of being tossed around. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Yeah. So that is our all MLB team third base edition. We are going to actually be doing right field next time. We're going to be
Yeah,
doing
moving to
right
the
fielders.
outfield.
So that's going to be something that we're going to do for the following podcast. And yeah, hopefully we're going to pick some nice right fielders. So we're going to end our show with this day in MLB history. This is a good nugget here.
Ooh, let's
So
hear it. Let's hear it.
in 2010, Mariano Rivera ties Eric Gagne for the major league mark when he got 51 consecutive saves at home, which is crazy
Filthy.
to think.
That's
It's
crazy,
crazy
man.
to think. And the fact that, obviously the great Mo, and Eric Gagne being in the same conversation, obviously, took steroids and it's tainted,
Right.
but
Mm-hmm.
just imagine 51 consecutive saves at home.
That's
locked
bonkers,
down.
bro. It's bonkers. That's the reality of Mo.
He locked it down
Mr. Automatic.
for so many years, and that stat is just great to see.
It is. Just one of the many that showed how literally amazing Mariano Rivera was for so many years, man.
There will never be a great one like that.
Unanimous
So,
Hall of Famer.
just glad that we were able to see him during our
Yeah.
youth.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, with that, we say and see you for the next episode of the Gringo and Tom Show.
Oh, this what they've been waiting on? Ha ha ha! It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Let's go. It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Y'all ready to go? Late night sports talk. Y'all ready to go? Gringo be hitting this points. Tom coming in and he won't disappoint. Nah, they be swinging for the fences and striking you out. Yeah. Now let's see what this is all about. Let go. It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Y'all ready to go? It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Y'all ready to go? Ready to go. River ready to go. It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Y'all ready to go? Hey, it's done right about now.